congratulations for listening.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
The funniest thing about your project is I believe I talked to you two, I want to say years ago, because I recalled this film. I want to say it was during maybe the film festival circuit or something like that, or something.
Yeah, I think when we were at Woodstock, we talked, for a festival premiere.
Oh, terrific, terrific. Well, it's been a long journey. So how does it feel that it's finally going to be out for the rest of the world to actually see?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's real exciting. I think, it's a movie. It's only become more and more relevant as some of this telepathy technology and mind reading technology is becoming real in the world today.
Well, let's talk about a little bit about this film, Khalil. Where did the original idea came from? Even though I want to say it was written more than 7 years ago.
Yeah, the original idea was, what if someone invented telepathy? And then I started doing some research into the science, see like, okay, like could we, base this in the world today and see like, is this actually possible? And then, explore that through the characters and their lives and what the implications would be in their personal relationships if, their spouse or friend or coworker was plugging into their brain and seeing their thoughts, and then also government surveillance and what it would mean kind of society wide.
Wow. Amber, why did you want to be a part of this project?
Well, it's a great story. And when I got the sides at first, you don't get the whole story yet. You just kind of get like a synopsis, and then you get like little, sides to work on for the audition. But even those little snippets that I got was just, it was so exciting because you just knew that it was a good story. It was well written. The characters were rich. They were complex. The idea the idea of it was great. And I love sci-fi.
Obviously, yeah. This is definitely a sci-fi movie for itself. Khalil, you mentioned earlier that this is a really relevant film, especially for today. When you say relevant, I'm guessing it's not the telepathy part that's relevant today. I'm guessing the fact that injecting nanobots possibly through into our systems to control us. Maybe it's a QAnon theory that maybe the vaccine's going to do that. What do you mean by relevant?
There's Neuralink. Elon Musk's company he's invested in is doing these experiments. Right now with trying to use brain computer interfaces to control our technology or phone, or maybe even be able to see each other's thoughts. You might be able to like send a text message to your buddy with a thought rather than typing on your phone. But yeah, it's also relevant. Just, when I wrote the movie, it was more like a metaphor for our relationship with social media and technology in our phones, and how, technology can be both good and bad. It can like help connect us, but also, it's called listening for a reason. We still need to know how to like have real conversations and connect with people around us on a human level without letting the technology kind of get in the way.
Absolutely. Amber, you actually had a fun character to actually play, because there's a couple sides to her character. Could you talk about what was the enjoyment of playing this?
I ultimately like to play characters that are multidimensional. And she's not just this sex pot, that those looks are supposed to fulfill the role of turning these guys and maybe tricking them. But also it's just so nice to play something that's not just I'm a sexy chick or I'm just a smart chick, but like there was so much thought put into Jordan that she was really a lot of fun to play with for that reason.
Did you enjoy the transformation of playing your character, especially getting into very different costumes, I would say.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We had a great costume designer actually who really worked with me as well. She had great ideas and then also kind of incorporated even some of my own wardrobe into the characters so that I felt comfortable in them. But yeah, I'm not like one that would like wear short shorts or like I'm usually, I'm pretty buttoned up in a lot of ways. So it was nice to explore that and open up and to use that as a vehicle. So it was really fun to transform in that way. And, Jordan's vulnerability, she wasn't just out to get these guys or just part of, an organization that was going to steal their technology or anything. She has feelings. And so it was nice to have a character that was able to express that,
Absolutely. Khalil, directing this project, because this is an indie project, you had many challenges. Could you talk about the production challenges of basically trying to keep everything simple, like in the garage, the lab, the house, trying to basically create sort of like a complex high-tech laboratory for yourself with a bunch of gadgets and whatnots?
Yeah, I mean, it was, for a low budget movie, we still had like over 30 locations, which was a bit of a challenge. And and a couple really cool sets, like that garage set you were talking about. Like we wanted it to look like the inside of a brain, really, with all these loose wires and old technology, everything. And it's with David and Ryan, the main characters, are supposed to be super poor. So they're kind of cobbling together, these their experiments with like old used technology and old computers and stuff. So it was really kind of cool to the production design team did a really great job putting together those sets. And then later on we have really advanced sets, with the government CIA lab and stuff like that. So there's a nice contrast there.
It is a terrific contrast, but I do have to ask though, that syringe, what exactly is that? Is that like some kind of horse tranquilizer syringe? What is that?
Yeah, I guess the ones that go into your spine or whatever, they're pretty scary.
They're big.
Amber, when you actually took this project, I guess Khalil had to ask you to shave a part of your head. Could you talk about that moment and doing that for the sake of art?
Oh, I was down. I was excited. I'm always like, you want me to shave my head? I'll shave my head. Do you want me to do this? That's like whatever the role requires, whatever helps tell the story, whatever I need to do to make that vision a reality and make it seamless as possible. I'm always down, especially like with a good writer, a great director, someone who isn't just throwing out these things all for like shock value or whatever. Everything had a purpose, a reason, and I just trusted Khalil in that. So I was just like, big yes on my forehead, whatever you need.
Well, whatever you did for the movie, you established that sensible fashion style.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. In fact, after that movie, I cut my hair I'd shaved more of it. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Khalil, for my favorite haircut of all time. I shaved more of it, and then I made it really short, and I just did one side, and it was just this like punk haircut after that, and it was so much fun. So much fun to be able to do that.
That is great. Khalil, one of the things, even though we mentioned that this is an independent movie, I found it that you were very ambitious of going to Cambodia. I want to say probably either Angkor Wat or near there to film seeing that. You're talking about halfway around the world. Why did you want to do that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's kind of a spiritual aspect to the story, of thoughts being our reality and learning to, shape our reality by controlling our thoughts and cultivating, the inner workings of our brains. And like I was saying, there's this visual motif of sets and stuff looking like the inside of the brain. And when I showed the lookbook to my wife, who was producer on the film, she was like, oh, like I wanted these old temples overgrown with vines and everything that also look like neurons in the brain. and she'd been traveling Southeast Asia and stuff. She's like, oh, like we should shoot in Angkor, and everything over there is relatively cheap. You know, it's the plane tickets are expensive, but we took a skeleton crew and had a lot of fun being able to film. Yeah, not Angkor Wat specifically, but that region. Yeah, a few different temples and built some sets around the temples there. It was really fun.
I think I've been to that area, Angkor Wat, twice. I think the first time was before people realized it was a tourist destination, so there was nobody there. And the second time, when I actually went years later, there were just thousands of people. You can't take a picture without, you know, people in the background. So when you actually did it, you know, filming it, it must have been great that you didn't really have like crowds of people around.
Yeah, it's during that transition. Yeah, it's becoming a really popular tourist destination now. We had actually built some of kind of like the sets we had built around the ruins. There were a few tourists who came and walked through and were just so amazed because they're like, oh, look, this, they didn't realize it was a movie set. They just thought like, this is how it is. This is how the monks are living here, or whatever, like walking right into it.
Let's address the rest of the cast. Obviously, you have the two gents who play the other two roles. I believe one of them was Jonathan. Is that his name?
I mean, Thomas and Artie. Yeah,
Thomas and Artie. Yeah. So could you talk about them and why they're terrific in their respective roles?
Yeah, they were both great, and it's a movie that's kind of you know, it's not black or white or just good versus evil. It's kind of these best friends who start at different sides of a debate, you know, of what to do with this technology, and by the end, maybe you kind of flip sides as far as like who's on the moral in the moral right. And Thomas was really into you know, the ideas behind the film. We had a lot of good conversations in advance. And Artie, he was really into the science. You know, he had some background in like oceanography and doing actual experiments and stuff like that. And so he was super into all the science and wanted to talk about all that. And yeah, two of them together really had great chemistry.
Speaking of, Amber, do you even know the science that's going on in this movie, or when you spew out the terminologies?
I had to do some research for sure. And also to get the words comfortable in my mouth enough to talk about it where it doesn't sound like I'm just fumbling all over the place. I definitely had to do some research for sure. But then when you do the research, it's fascinating. And then I couldn't stop reading about it. And I was so excited to get to working on the film and like shooting, because I was like, oh, I got this. I think I get this, which is really exciting. I learned something new.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, let me start wrapping things up. So the issue of telepathy, would you guys want this power of telepathy technology in the future?
No way. It may be coming whether we want it or not, but I'm not first in line to let anyone inject something into my brain.
Yeah, I'm of the same mind. I mean, I know that there is some good that can come from this and, you know, can maybe help people communicate. But when you unleash that kind of thing into the world, like we're humans. We're not going to use all that for good. Like someone's going to take it and use it as a weapon and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it could go down the rabbit hole, right? Let's just stay out of it. But we're there, so.
Well, I guess that's the entire idea of science and science fiction, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, before I let you go, one last question. Obviously, the world has gone bonkers, and we're talking to each other virtually right now. How are you staying sane and creative during times like this?
Well, for me, just before the pandemic, I moved to Hawaii and feel like I got out of LA just in time. So this is actually a great place to be. Life hasn't changed that much. And I'm most creative when I can connect with nature and stuff, and being able to, be on my computer all day, but hop in the ocean just in my backyard. Yeah, I'm really lucky.
Wow.
Yeah, that is nice, Khalil. I want to jump into the ocean, but I moved east near the fires and during a pandemic. But honestly, I've been keeping sane for the most part by, I'm in a band, so we create music, me and my partner here. And I also started a garden. So I moved into a space where there's a lot of space, and I'm trying to, bring in some old habitat that maybe is being pushed out, try to bring that back into a backyard in Los Angeles. So yeah, connecting with nature is a big part of staying sane, and disconnecting from the internet, at times, so you can reboot.
No internet, no telepathy. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Well, excellent. Hey, congratulations, you two, for listening, and I'm glad that the rest of the world will finally get a chance to watch listening.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you so much.
Bye.